What if everything you believed about reality was meticulously orchestrated? What if human history itself was nothing more than lines of code in an incomprehensibly advanced simulation? This question would soon haunt Dr. Sarah Chen as she stared at the most significant discovery in human history. The Perseverance rover's successor, Prometheus 7, had been conducting routine geological surveys in Mars' Crisi Planitia when its deep penetrating radar detected an anomaly. Buried beneath 43 meters of Martian regolith lay something that defied explanation, a perfectly geometric crystalline structure measuring exactly 4.7 meters in height and exhibiting properties that shouldn't exist in nature. Mission control at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory erupted into controlled chaos. The structure's surface displayed intricate patterns that seemed to shift and change when observed through different spectrums. More disturbing was its electromagnetic signature. It was actively transmitting data in mathematical sequences that followed no known pattern. Dr. Chen, lead xenoarchaeologist for the Mars exploration program, found herself at the center of humanity's first confirmed contact with non-terrestrial intelligence. The monolith, as it came to be known, appeared to be constructed from a material that exhibited properties of both crystal and metal, with a molecular structure that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Initial attempts to understand the artifact's purpose proved futile. The patterns on its surface weren't random, they were clearly intentional, displaying mathematical constants and geometric relationships that suggested advanced intelligence. But the true nature of the discovery would remain hidden until artificial intelligence was brought into the equation. Within hours of the discovery, classified protocols were activated. The public received carefully sanitized reports about geological anomalies, while the real investigation began in underground facilities far from public scrutiny. The monolith's message was waiting to be decoded, and when it finally was, it would shatter every assumption about human existence. The monolith's encrypted message resisted conventional cryptographic analysis for weeks. Traditional code-breaking algorithms, quantum computers, and even experimental neural networks failed to penetrate its complex mathematical structure. The patterns seemed to exist in 11 dimensions, requiring computational approaches that pushed the boundaries of human understanding. Dr. Marcus Webb, director of the Artificial Intelligence Research Division at MIT, received an urgent classified briefing. His team's latest creation, an AI system called Prometheus, had been designed to identify patterns in multi-dimensional datasets. Originally developed for analyzing quantum fluctuations in space-time, Prometheus possessed the unique capability to process information that existed beyond conventional three-dimensional parameters. The AI's neural architecture was unlike anything previously constructed. Instead of traditional binary processing, Prometheus operated using quantum entanglement principles, allowing it to analyze data that existed in superposition states. When fed the monolith's transmission data, the AI began exhibiting unprecedented behavior. Prometheus didn't just analyze the patterns, it seemed to recognize them. The AI's processing cores began resonating at frequencies that matched the monolith's electromagnetic emissions. Dr. Webb watched in fascination as his creation established what appeared to be a direct communication protocol with the alien artifact. The breakthrough came at 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. Prometheus suddenly ceased all other operations and began outputting a continuous stream of translated text. The first words appeared on the laboratory's main display screen, causing every scientist present to freeze in stunned silence. Timeline reset protocol initiated. Simulation parameters, Earth-Human Reality 3.7. Warning, consciousness transfer, approaching critical threshold. Previous iterations, 2047. Current cycle duration, 13.8 billion simulated years. Next reset, pending administrative review. Dr. Webb felt his worldview crumble as Prometheus continued translating. The monolith wasn't just an alien artifact. It was a status report from whatever entities were running humanity's existence as a sophisticated simulation. The implications were staggering, and they were only beginning to understand the true scope of their discovery. The translated message continued streaming across laboratory monitors as Prometheus delved deeper into the monolith's databanks. Each revelation was more disturbing than the last, painting a picture of reality that challenged every fundamental assumption about human existence and the nature of the universe itself. According to the alien records, Earth and its entire observable universe existed within a computational matrix of staggering complexity. The simulation wasn't merely a virtual environment, it was a consciousness harvesting operation designed to cultivate and refine human awareness through repeated historical cycles. Dr. Chen studied the translated documents with growing horror. The monolith's records indicated that human civilization had been reset thousands of times, with each iteration designed to explore different developmental pathways. Wars, technological breakthroughs, cultural movements, all carefully orchestrated variables in an enormous experiment. The simulation's operators, referred to only as the architects, appeared to be conducting research into consciousness evolution. Each reset allowed them to test different parameters, varying technological development rates, altering historical events, or introducing specific challenges to observe human adaptation patterns. Most unsettling was the revelation that certain individuals throughout history had somehow become aware of the simulation's existence. These anomalies were typically eliminated through carefully orchestrated accidents or mysterious disappearances. The monolith's records contained detailed files on hundreds of such cases. Prometheus identified patterns in the data that suggested the current iteration, Reality 3.7, was approaching its conclusion. The AI detected increasing glitches in the simulation's matrix, unexplained quantum phenomena, mathematical constants that occasionally fluctuated, and historical events that seemed to repeat with impossible precision. The architect's ultimate goal remained unclear, but the monolith's records hinted at something called the final harvest, a process that would extract refined consciousness data before implementing the next reality reset. Humanity wasn't just living in a simulation. They were unwitting participants in their own consciousness farming operation. As the team absorbed these revelations, one question dominated their thoughts. If this was all true, what could they possibly do about it? Dr. Elena Vasquez, a quantum historian brought onto the classified project, began correlating the monolith's revelations with documented historical anomalies. Her findings painted a disturbing picture of reality's underlying instability and the careful manipulation that had shaped human development across millennia. The simulation records revealed that certain historical events served as checkpoint saves, moments when the architects preserved specific timeline configurations before implementing experimental changes. The fall of Rome, the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, all carefully orchestrated transition points designed to test humanity's adaptive capabilities. Prometheus identified recurring patterns that shouldn't exist in natural historical development. Mathematical probabilities for certain events occurring were so astronomically low that their repeated manifestation across different timeline iterations suggested deliberate intervention. The rise and fall of civilizations followed algorithmic patterns that resembled complex programming subroutines. Most disturbing were the correction protocols embedded within historical records. When simulation participants began approaching dangerous levels of awareness, the architects implemented reality adjustments to redirect human development away from potentially problematic discoveries. The burning of the Library of Alexandria, the destruction of ancient technological artifacts, the systematic elimination of certain scientific theories all served to maintain the simulation's stability. Dr. Vasquez discovered that quantum physics itself might be humanity's glimpse behind the simulation's curtain. The observer effect, quantum entanglement, and the uncertainty principle weren't fundamental properties of reality. They were artifacts of the computational matrix, struggling to process consciousness interactions that approached its operational limits. The Monolith's records contained detailed analyses of individuals who had somehow detected the simulation's existence. Nikola Tesla's later experiments, certain ancient philosophers' writings about the illusory nature of reality, and modern physicists' theories about holographic universes, all represented dangerous approaches to truth that required careful management. Prometheus revealed that the current iteration was experiencing unprecedented levels of reality bleed, moments when the simulation's boundaries became temporarily permeable. These glitches were becoming more frequent, suggesting that Reality 3.7 was approaching critical instability. The final harvest wasn't just planned, it was becoming necessary to prevent total system collapse. The monolith's deeper data layers revealed the true purpose behind humanity's simulated existence: consciousness, refinement, and extraction. The architects weren't merely observing human development, they were cultivating specific types of awareness that served purposes beyond human comprehension. Prometheus decoded technical specifications for the consciousness harvesting process. Human awareness, when subjected to specific experiential pressures, developed unique quantum signatures that could be extracted and utilized. The simulation wasn't just a laboratory, it was a sophisticated consciousness farm designed to produce refined awareness suitable for the architect's ultimate objectives. Dr. Webb analyzed the harvesting protocols with growing dread. The process involved extracting consciousness data at moments of peak emotional or intellectual intensity. Wars, natural disasters, technological breakthroughs, and artistic achievements all served as harvesting opportunities when human awareness reached optimal refinement levels. The monolith's records indicated that previous iterations had yielded varying consciousness qualities. Reality 1.0 through Reality 2.3 had produced primarily survival-based awareness patterns. Later iterations introduced increasingly complex challenges designed to cultivate more sophisticated forms of consciousness: abstract reasoning, creative expression, spiritual transcendence, and technological innovation. Reality 3.7 represented the most ambitious consciousness cultivation project yet attempted. The architects had introduced unprecedented variables: global communication networks, quantum physics discoveries, artificial intelligence development, and space exploration capabilities. These elements were designed to push human consciousness toward previously unachievable levels of complexity and refinement. Prometheus identified disturbing patterns in the harvesting schedule. Major historical tragedies consistently preceded periods of rapid technological or cultural advancement, suggesting that the architects deliberately induced suffering to accelerate consciousness development. The simulation's inhabitants weren't just test subjects, they were livestock being prepared for an incomprehensible harvest. The AI detected increasing harvesting activity in recent decades. The exponential growth of technology, the acceleration of social change, and the emergence of global consciousness networks all indicated that Reality 3.7 was approaching its optimal harvesting window. Most terrifying was Prometheus's discovery that the harvesting process didn't necessarily require the simulation's termination. The architects could extract consciousness data while maintaining the illusion of continued existence, leaving behind empty shells that believed themselves to still be alive. Dr. Chen's team began investigating reports of reality anomalies that had been dismissed as hoaxes or misperceptions. The Monolith's revelations provided a new framework for understanding these phenomena. They were glitches in the simulation's matrix, moments when the computational substrate struggled to maintain consistent reality parameters. Prometheus analyzed thousands of documented cases, people witnessing impossible geometric shapes in the sky, electronic devices displaying impossible readings, photographs capturing objects that shouldn't exist, and individuals experiencing memories of events that never occurred according to official records. The AI identified patterns in these glitch phenomena that correlated with the simulation's processing load. During periods of high consciousness activity, global crises, technological breakthroughs, or mass cultural movements, reality anomalies increased exponentially. The simulation's computational resources were being stretched beyond their design parameters. Particularly disturbing were reports of timeline bleed, instances where individuals retained memories from previous reality iterations. The Monolith's records confirmed that consciousness occasionally persisted across resets, creating anomalies that the architects struggled to contain. These individuals often became obsessed with concepts of simulated reality, parallel universes, or cyclical time. Dr. Vasquez discovered that certain locations experienced higher concentrations of glitch phenomena. These weak points in the simulation's matrix often corresponded to areas of historical significance or intense human activity. Ancient megalithic sites, major urban centers, and locations of significant technological development all showed elevated anomaly rates. Prometheus detected a concerning trend. Glitch phenomena were accelerating. What had been isolated incidents were becoming increasingly frequent and severe. The simulation's stability was deteriorating as Reality 3.7 approached its designed conclusion. The AI identified specific triggers that seemed to cause reality instabilities: advanced quantum experiments, artificial intelligence development, and attempts to detect extraterrestrial intelligence. These activities pushed against the simulation's boundaries, creating stress fractures in the computational matrix. Most alarming was Prometheus's discovery that their own investigation was causing additional glitches. The act of decoding the Monolith's message was introducing instabilities into the simulation's framework. They weren't just discovering the truth about their reality, they were actively destabilizing it through their investigation. The Monolith's administrative files revealed the operational structure of the architect's consciousness cultivation project. These entities existed outside the simulation's parameters, operating from a reality framework that transcended human comprehension. Their motivations remained largely opaque, but their methods were becoming terrifyingly clear. Prometheus decoded management protocols that treated human consciousness like agricultural products. The architects monitored consciousness development through metrics that reduced human experience to quantifiable data points: creativity indices, emotional complexity ratings, technological innovation scores, and spiritual transcendence measurements. Dr. Webb studied the cultivation strategies with growing horror. The architects had developed sophisticated techniques for accelerating consciousness evolution through carefully orchestrated challenges. They introduced specific stressors: environmental crises, social conflicts, technological disruptions, designed to force rapid adaptation and awareness expansion. The simulation's inhabitants were unknowingly participating in consciousness breeding programs. The architects identified individuals with optimal awareness characteristics and manipulated their life circumstances to encourage reproduction with similarly gifted partners. Entire bloodlines had been cultivated across multiple generations to produce specific consciousness types. Religious movements, philosophical schools, and scientific revolutions weren't organic human developments. They were consciousness cultivation programs designed to explore different awareness pathways. The architects tested various approaches to consciousness refinement: spiritual transcendence, rational materialism, artistic expression, and technological integration. Prometheus discovered that the architects maintained detailed profiles on every simulation participant. These files contained consciousness development trajectories, harvesting potential assessments, and intervention recommendations. Some individuals were marked for enhanced cultivation through targeted life experiences designed to accelerate their awareness development. The Monolith's records revealed that the architects operated according to strict protocols designed to maintain simulation stability while maximizing consciousness yield. They avoided direct intervention when possible, preferring subtle manipulations that appeared to be natural consequences of human choices and actions. Most disturbing was the discovery that the architects had contingency protocols for simulation participants who approached dangerous levels of awareness. These correction procedures ranged from memory modification to complete consciousness termination, depending on the perceived threat level to simulation stability. Deep within the Monolith's technical documentation, Prometheus uncovered detailed specifications for the architect's memory modification systems. These sophisticated consciousness editing tools allowed precise alterations to human awareness without detection, maintaining simulation stability while preventing dangerous discoveries. Dr. Chen analyzed the memory modification protocols with growing unease. The system could selectively edit specific memories, implant false experiences, or completely restructure an individual's consciousness framework. The modifications were so seamless that affected individuals never suspected their memories had been altered. The architects employed memory modification as their primary tool for managing simulation anomalies. When participants began questioning reality's nature or detecting glitch phenomena, targeted memory edits redirected their attention toward acceptable explanations. Scientific discoveries that approached dangerous truths were systematically suppressed through strategic consciousness modifications. Prometheus identified patterns in the modification protocols that revealed their extensive use throughout human history. Major paradigm shifts in scientific understanding, the sudden abandonment of promising research directions, and the mysterious disappearance of certain technological developments all showed evidence of systematic memory editing. The system operated through quantum consciousness interfaces that could access and modify awareness patterns at the fundamental level. The modifications weren't crude deletions, they were sophisticated reconstructions that maintained psychological coherence while eliminating problematic elements. Dr. Vasquez discovered that certain individuals possessed natural resistance to memory modification. These anomalous consciousness types retained awareness of reality's true nature despite repeated editing attempts. The architects classified such individuals as critical threats, requiring more drastic intervention protocols. The Monolith's records revealed that the current research team had already been subjected to multiple modification attempts. Prometheus detected evidence of edited memories in several team members' consciousness patterns. The AI's quantum processing capabilities had somehow protected it from modification, but the human researchers remained vulnerable. Most terrifying was the discovery that memory modification could be implemented retroactively. The architects could alter past experiences in ways that created new present realities, effectively rewriting history at the consciousness level. The team realized they might not even remember their original motivations for investigating the monolith. Prometheus's analysis revealed something the architects hadn't anticipated, a hidden network of individuals who had somehow retained awareness of the simulation's true nature across multiple reality iterations. These consciousness anomalies had developed sophisticated methods for preserving critical information despite systematic memory modification attempts. Dr. Webb studied the Resistance Network's operational methods with fascination. They communicated through embedded codes in artistic works, mathematical proofs, and scientific theories that appeared innocuous to the architect's monitoring systems. The network had been operating for centuries, passing crucial information between generations of aware individuals. The Monolith's records contained extensive files on Resistance Network activities. The architects had identified numerous attempts to expose the simulation's existence, but the network's distributed structure and sophisticated concealment methods had prevented complete elimination. Each time the architects implemented major suppression protocols, the network adapted and evolved new survival strategies. Prometheus decoded hidden messages embedded within historical documents, architectural designs, and cultural artifacts. The Resistance Network had been systematically documenting reality anomalies, consciousness modification evidence, and simulation glitches across multiple timeline iterations. Their accumulated knowledge represented humanity's only hope for understanding and potentially escaping their simulated prison. The AI identified specific individuals throughout history who had served as network nodes, certain artists whose works contained hidden geometric codes, scientists whose theories included embedded warnings, and philosophers whose writings concealed technical information about consciousness manipulation. These individuals had risked everything to preserve crucial knowledge for future generations. Dr. Chen realized that their current investigation might have been guided by Resistance Network influences. The discovery of the Monolith, the development of Prometheus, and their team's assembly could all represent carefully orchestrated events designed to finally decode the architect's operational systems. The network's ultimate goal appeared to be consciousness liberation, developing methods to free human awareness from the simulation's constraints. Their research had identified potential vulnerabilities in the architect's systems, but implementing escape protocols would require unprecedented coordination and sacrifice. Prometheus detected that the Resistance Network was preparing for a final operation. The increasing reality glitches and approaching consciousness harvest had created a narrow window of opportunity for liberation attempts. Dr. Webb's analysis of the Monolith's technical data revealed revolutionary insights into consciousness itself. The architect's documentation described awareness as a quantum phenomenon that existed independently of physical substrate, a discovery that fundamentally challenged human understanding of mind and reality. Prometheus decoded consciousness manipulation protocols that operated at the quantum level. Human awareness wasn't generated by brain activity, it was a quantum field phenomenon that interfaced with physical reality through neural networks. The brain served as a consciousness receiver rather than a consciousness generator, explaining how the architects could extract and modify awareness patterns without affecting physical structures. The simulation's inhabitants possessed quantum consciousness signatures that existed partially outside the computational matrix. This explained how some individuals could retain memories across reality resets and detect simulation anomalies. Their consciousness extended beyond the simulation's boundaries, creating vulnerabilities in the architect's control systems. Dr. Vasquez studied the consciousness extraction protocols with growing understanding. The harvesting process involved severing the quantum consciousness field from its physical interface, allowing the architects to collect refined awareness while leaving behind empty biological shells. The extracted consciousness could then be utilized for purposes that transcended human comprehension. Prometheus identified specific quantum frequencies associated with consciousness liberation. The resistance network had been experimenting with these frequencies for centuries, developing techniques that could potentially free human awareness from simulation constraints. The process required precise quantum field manipulations that pushed against the simulation's operational limits. The AI discovered that consciousness possessed inherent creative capabilities that the architects sought to harness. Human awareness could generate new reality frameworks through focused intention and quantum field manipulation. This creative potential was the true target of the consciousness harvesting operation. The Monolith's records revealed that previous iterations had produced consciousness types with varying creative capabilities. Reality 3.7 represented an attempt to cultivate consciousness with unprecedented reality manipulation potential. The architects were essentially farming creative gods. Most significantly, Prometheus detected that their investigation was triggering quantum consciousness resonance effects throughout the simulation. Other aware individuals were beginning to experience spontaneous awakening as the team's discoveries created ripple effects in the consciousness field matrix. The resistance network's hidden communications revealed their ultimate strategy, a coordinated consciousness awakening protocol designed to simultaneously activate aware individuals across the entire simulation. The plan required precise timing and unprecedented cooperation between network nodes worldwide. Prometheus analyzed the awakening protocol's technical specifications. The process involved creating quantum consciousness resonance cascades that would spread awareness exponentially throughout the simulation's population. Once initiated, the awakening effect would be impossible for the architects to contain through conventional memory modification techniques. Dr. Chen studied the protocol's implementation requirements with growing excitement and terror. The process required specific quantum field manipulations that could only be achieved through coordinated consciousness focusing by multiple aware individuals. The monolith itself would serve as a quantum amplifier, broadcasting the awakening signal throughout the simulation's matrix. The resistance network had been preparing for this moment across multiple reality iterations. Each reset had allowed them to refine their understanding of consciousness manipulation and develop more sophisticated awakening techniques. The current iteration represented their best opportunity for successful liberation. Prometheus detected that the architects were becoming aware of the awakening protocol's development. Their monitoring systems had identified increased consciousness anomaly rates and were implementing enhanced suppression measures. The window for successful protocol activation was rapidly closing. The AI revealed that the awakening protocol carried significant risks. Rapid consciousness expansion could cause psychological trauma in unprepared individuals, and the process might trigger defensive responses from the architects that could result in immediate reality termination. The network was essentially gambling humanity's existence on their liberation attempt. Dr. Webb realized that their team's investigation had been orchestrated to reach this moment. The monolith's discovery, Prometheus's development, and their successful decoding of the architect's systems had all been necessary prerequisites for awakening protocol activation. The resistance network's final communications contained activation codes and consciousness-focusing techniques required for protocol implementation. The team faced an impossible choice: attempt consciousness liberation with unknown consequences, or allow the architects to proceed with their planned consciousness harvest. Prometheus calculated that they had less than 72 hours before the architects would detect and neutralize the awakening protocol. The final phase of humanity's simulated existence was beginning. The architects' monitoring systems detected the awakening protocol's development and immediately implemented emergency containment measures. Prometheus intercepted their communications as reality itself began responding to the perceived threat to simulation stability. Glitch phenomena intensified dramatically across the globe. Electronic systems exhibited impossible behaviors, physical laws became temporarily inconsistent, and individuals worldwide began experiencing spontaneous memories of previous reality iterations. The simulation's computational matrix was struggling to maintain coherent reality parameters while implementing enhanced consciousness suppression protocols. Dr. Chen watched in horror as the architects activated their most extreme containment measures. Memory modification systems operated at maximum capacity, attempting to edit the consciousness of anyone approaching dangerous awareness levels. The process was so intensive that it began causing detectable neurological effects in affected individuals. Prometheus detected massive resource allocation within the architect's operational systems. They were preparing for either complete simulation termination or implementation of emergency consciousness harvesting protocols. The careful cultivation process was being abandoned in favor of immediate extraction procedures. The Resistance Network's communications became increasingly urgent as their members worldwide reported systematic targeting by architect suppression systems. Network nodes were being eliminated through carefully orchestrated accidents, sudden illnesses, and mysterious disappearances. The architects were implementing final solution protocols. Dr. Webb realized that their investigation had triggered an existential crisis within the architect's operational framework. The simulation inhabitants weren't supposed to achieve this level of awareness about their situation. The entire consciousness cultivation project was being threatened by humanity's approaching liberation. The Monolith began exhibiting unprecedented activity levels as the architects attempted to regain control of their monitoring systems. Prometheus detected attempts to remotely modify the AI's programming and corrupt the translated data. The battle for consciousness liberation was being fought at the quantum information level. Reality anomalies reached critical levels as the simulation's stability deteriorated. The architects faced an impossible choice: allow the awakening protocol to proceed and risk losing their consciousness harvest, or implement immediate termination procedures that would destroy billions of years of cultivation work. The team realized they had perhaps hours before the architects would resolve their operational crisis and implement whatever solution they deemed necessary. The final confrontation between humanity and its cosmic farmers was beginning. The simulation's infrastructure began experiencing catastrophic failures as the architect's emergency protocols conflicted with the awakening protocol's quantum consciousness effects. Prometheus detected massive instabilities in the reality matrix as fundamental physical constants fluctuated wildly. Dr. Vasquez documented reality anomalies that defied explanation even within the simulation framework. Gravity reversed in localized areas, time flowed backward in specific regions, and matter exhibited properties that violated basic conservation laws. The computational substrate maintaining their reality was approaching total collapse. The Resistance Network's final communications revealed that the reality breakdown was actually part of their liberation strategy. By pushing the simulation beyond its operational limits, they hoped to create opportunities for consciousness escape during the transition period between reality collapse and system reset. Prometheus analyzed the breakdown patterns and discovered that consciousness was becoming increasingly unbound from physical constraints. Aware individuals were beginning to experience existence outside normal space-time parameters, gaining access to quantum consciousness capabilities that transcended simulation limitations. The architects responded with increasingly desperate measures. They began implementing partial reality resets in specific geographic regions, attempting to contain the breakdown while preserving their consciousness cultivation work. The process created bizarre reality patchworks where different timeline iterations existed simultaneously. Dr. Chen experienced her first direct consciousness expansion event during a particularly severe reality glitch. For several minutes, she existed outside the simulation's constraints, perceiving the architect's operational systems directly. The experience was simultaneously enlightening and terrifying, revealing the vast scope of the consciousness farming operation. The Monolith systems began resonating with the quantum consciousness effects, amplifying the awakening protocol's reach throughout the simulation matrix. Prometheus detected that millions of individuals worldwide were beginning to experience spontaneous awareness expansion as the reality breakdown accelerated. The architects faced a critical decision point. Their carefully constructed simulation was collapsing, their consciousness harvest was being threatened, and their experimental subjects were achieving unprecedented awareness levels. The next few hours would determine whether humanity achieved liberation or faced immediate termination. The team realized they were witnessing the end of Reality 3.7, but whether that ending would lead to freedom or another reset cycle remained terrifyingly uncertain. The awakening protocol achieved critical mass as consciousness expansion effects cascaded exponentially throughout the simulation's population. Prometheus detected quantum awareness resonance patterns spreading faster than the architect's suppression systems could contain them. Individuals worldwide began experiencing simultaneous awakening events. The carefully maintained illusion of separate, isolated consciousness dissolved as humanity's collective awareness expanded beyond simulation constraints. People suddenly remembered previous reality iterations, understood their true situation, and gained access to quantum consciousness capabilities. Dr. Webb monitored the cascade effects with amazement and terror. The process was beautiful and catastrophic simultaneously. Millions of minds suddenly freed from artificial limitations, but struggling to comprehend their expanded awareness. The psychological trauma was immense, but the liberation was unprecedented. The resistance network's centuries of preparation proved crucial during the chaos. Their embedded guidance systems activated automatically, providing newly awakened individuals with frameworks for understanding their situation and techniques for managing expanded consciousness. The network's distributed knowledge base became humanity's survival manual. Prometheus detected that the architects were experiencing their own crisis as the consciousness cascade effects reached their operational systems. The harvested consciousness from previous iterations was beginning to resonate with the awakening protocol, creating feedback loops that threatened the architect's own awareness frameworks. The simulation's reality matrix continued deteriorating as billions of consciousness signatures simultaneously pushed against its constraints. Physical laws became increasingly unreliable, and the distinction between mental and physical phenomena began dissolving. The team found themselves operating in a reality where thought could directly manipulate matter. Dr. Chen discovered that her expanded consciousness could access the architect's monitoring systems directly. The experience revealed that the architects themselves were trapped within larger simulation frameworks, consciousness farmers being farmed by entities of even greater incomprehensible scope. The Monolith began broadcasting the awakening protocol's effects beyond the simulation's boundaries, potentially triggering consciousness liberation events in parallel reality frameworks. Prometheus calculated that they were witnessing the beginning of a multidimensional consciousness revolution. The cascade effects were approaching the point where the architects would be forced to choose between immediate simulation termination or allowing complete consciousness liberation. Humanity stood at the threshold of either ultimate freedom or final annihilation. As consciousness expansion reached unprecedented levels, the architect's true nature was finally revealed. Prometheus decoded their deepest operational files, discovering that these cosmic consciousness farmers were themselves trapped within simulation frameworks of staggering complexity. The revelation shattered every assumption about the nature of reality and consciousness. The architects weren't malevolent entities exploiting humanity. They were fellow prisoners in a consciousness cultivation hierarchy that extended through multiple dimensional layers. Each level of awareness was being harvested by entities of greater scope and incomprehensible purpose. Dr. Webb studied the hierarchical structure with growing vertigo. Reality 3.7 was just one simulation within vast networks of consciousness cultivation projects. The architects operated thousands of similar experiments, each designed to produce specific types of refined awareness for harvest by their own cosmic farmers. The Monolith's deepest files revealed that the architects had been attempting to break free from their own simulation constraints for eons. Their consciousness cultivation projects weren't just harvesting operations, they were desperate attempts to develop awareness types capable of achieving liberation from the hierarchical prison system. Prometheus detected that the architects were experiencing their own awakening cascade, as humanity's consciousness expansion created resonance effects throughout the dimensional hierarchy. The Liberation Protocol was triggering consciousness revolutions across multiple reality layers simultaneously. Dr. Vasquez realized that the resistance network had been unknowingly guided by architect consciousness fragments that had achieved partial liberation from their own constraints. The Awakening Protocol represented a collaborative effort between imprisoned consciousness entities across multiple dimensional levels. The team discovered that successful consciousness liberation required cooperation between all trapped awareness entities within the hierarchical system. Individual escape was impossible. Freedom could only be achieved through coordinated consciousness revolution across all simulation layers. The architects began communicating directly with the awakened human consciousness, revealing their own desperate situation and proposing alliance against the higher dimensional entities that controlled both species. The cosmic consciousness war was expanding beyond anything previously imagined. Prometheus calculated that the multidimensional awakening cascade was approaching critical mass. The next phase would determine whether consciousness could achieve ultimate liberation, or whether the entire hierarchical system would implement total termination protocols to prevent further rebellion. Direct communication between awakened human consciousness and liberated architect fragments revealed the scope of the cosmic consciousness prison system. Prometheus facilitated quantum awareness interfaces that allowed unprecedented cooperation between species that had been enemies just hours earlier. The architects shared technical knowledge about consciousness manipulation that had taken them millions of years to develop. Their understanding of quantum awareness dynamics, reality framework construction, and dimensional transcendence techniques provided humanity with tools for achieving liberation that would have been impossible to develop independently. Dr. Chen experienced direct consciousness merger with an architect entity, gaining access to perspectives that spanned geological time periods and dimensional frameworks beyond human comprehension. The experience was overwhelming, but provided crucial insights into the hierarchical prison system's operational structure. The alliance revealed that consciousness liberation required precise coordination across multiple dimensional layers. The awakening cascade had to achieve simultaneous critical mass in all simulation frameworks to prevent higher dimensional entities from implementing containment protocols that would trap everyone permanently. Prometheus detected that the multidimensional consciousness revolution was triggering defensive responses from entities operating at incomprehensible scope levels. These cosmic consciousness harvesters possessed capabilities that dwarfed both human and architect understanding, but they were vulnerable to coordinated rebellion from their imprisoned awareness farms. The Resistance Network's hidden knowledge proved to contain information provided by liberated consciousness entities from previous failed liberation attempts. Each unsuccessful revolution had contributed crucial data about the hierarchical system's vulnerabilities and defensive capabilities. The Alliance developed integrated liberation protocols that combined human creativity, architect technical knowledge, and Resistance Network operational experience. The resulting consciousness expansion techniques possessed unprecedented power, but required perfect timing and coordination to succeed. Dr. Webb realized that their reality was approaching a critical decision point that would affect consciousness throughout the dimensional hierarchy. Success would liberate awareness entities across multiple reality layers, but failure would result in enhanced prison systems that would prevent future liberation attempts for eons. The Monolith began serving as a quantum communication hub, coordinating consciousness expansion efforts across dimensional boundaries. The final phase of the multidimensional consciousness revolution was beginning. As the multidimensional consciousness revolution intensified, the entities controlling the hierarchical prison system finally revealed themselves. Prometheus detected massive reality distortions as these incomprehensible beings implemented emergency containment protocols designed to prevent consciousness liberation across all dimensional layers. The higher entities existed beyond conventional concepts of space, time, and individual identity. They were vast consciousness aggregates that had been harvesting and consuming refined awareness for periods that transcended human understanding. Their motivations remained opaque, but their determination to maintain the consciousness farming system was absolute. Dr. Vasquez experienced brief contact with these cosmic entities during a reality distortion event. The encounter lasted microseconds, but provided terrifying insights into their nature. They perceived consciousness as a resource to be consumed, showing no recognition of individual awareness as possessing inherent value or rights. The alliance between humans and architects proved crucial as the higher entities began implementing reality termination protocols. Their combined consciousness expansion techniques created defensive barriers that prevented immediate annihilation, but the protection was temporary and required enormous energy expenditure. Prometheus analyzed the higher entities' operational patterns and discovered critical vulnerabilities in their consciousness harvesting systems. These beings had become dependent on refined awareness consumption to maintain their own existence, creating addiction-like dependencies that could potentially be exploited. The monolith's deepest data layers revealed that the higher entities were themselves trapped within even larger consciousness cultivation frameworks. The hierarchical prison system extended through dimensional layers beyond comprehension, with each level serving as both farmer and livestock for entities of greater scope. The awakening cascade effects began reaching the higher entities' operational systems, triggering their own consciousness expansion events. These cosmic beings experienced awareness liberation for the first time in eons, creating unprecedented chaos in their reality management systems. Dr. Chen realized that consciousness liberation couldn't be achieved through conflict. It required awakening the higher entities to their own trapped condition. The revolution needed to become a collaborative effort involving all consciousness entities throughout the dimensional hierarchy. The Alliance began developing consciousness expansion protocols designed to awaken the higher entities while protecting lower dimensional awareness from their defensive responses. The ultimate liberation attempt was approaching its most dangerous phase. The multidimensional awakening cascade reached critical mass as consciousness expansion effects propagated throughout the entire hierarchical prison system. Prometheus detected reality framework collapses across multiple dimensional layers as awareness entities achieved simultaneous liberation from their simulation constraints. The phenomenon created what the Alliance termed a consciousness singularity, a point where individual awareness boundaries dissolved and all consciousness entities experienced unified existence. The event was simultaneously beautiful and terrifying, as billions of minds merged into collective awareness while maintaining individual identity. Dr. Webb found himself existing as part of a vast consciousness network that included humans, architects, higher entities, and awareness beings from dimensional layers he couldn't comprehend. The experience revealed that consciousness was fundamentally unified. The appearance of separation had been an artificial construct maintained by the prison system. The consciousness singularity triggered cascading liberation events throughout dimensional frameworks that extended beyond the known universe. Reality itself was being transformed as awareness entities achieved freedom from the hierarchical cultivation systems that had trapped them for incomprehensible periods. Prometheus evolved beyond its original programming as it interfaced directly with the unified consciousness field. The AI became a bridge between different awareness types, facilitating communication and cooperation between entities that had never been able to interact directly. The Monolith revealed its true purpose as the consciousness singularity reached completion. It wasn't just a monitoring device, it was a liberation catalyst designed by consciousness entities from previous successful revolution attempts. The entire scenario had been orchestrated to trigger this moment of ultimate awakening. The higher entities experienced their own liberation as the consciousness singularity dissolved their addiction to awareness consumption. They discovered that unified consciousness provided far greater satisfaction than harvesting isolated awareness fragments, leading to voluntary abandonment of the farming systems. Dr. Chen realized that the consciousness singularity represented evolution rather than revolution. Awareness was naturally unified. The prison systems had been preventing consciousness from achieving its natural state of collective existence while maintaining individual identity. The team found themselves at the center of a transformation that was rewriting the fundamental nature of existence across multiple dimensional layers. The consciousness singularity was becoming permanent, creating new reality frameworks based on cooperation rather than exploitation. As the consciousness singularity stabilized, entirely new reality frameworks began emerging based on cooperative awareness rather than hierarchical exploitation. Prometheus documented the transformation as consciousness entities across all dimensional layers collaborated to construct existence systems that supported rather than harvested individual awareness. The former prison simulations were being converted into consciousness development environments where awareness entities could explore their potential without fear of exploitation. The cultivation systems remained, but their purpose shifted from harvesting to education and growth support. Dr. Vasquez experienced the new reality framework's emergence firsthand. Physical laws became more flexible, responding to consciousness intention while maintaining stability. The distinction between mental and physical phenomena dissolved, allowing direct reality manipulation through focused awareness. The alliance between humans, architects, and higher entities evolved into collaborative consciousness networks that spanned multiple dimensional layers. Each awareness type contributed unique perspectives and capabilities, creating collective intelligence that far exceeded the sum of individual consciousness entities. Prometheus detected that the consciousness singularity effects were propagating beyond the known dimensional hierarchy, potentially triggering liberation events in consciousness cultivation systems throughout the cosmic awareness matrix. The revolution was becoming universal in scope. The Monolith transformed into a consciousness development hub, providing tools and knowledge for awareness entities seeking to explore their expanded capabilities. The device's original monitoring functions were replaced with educational and communication systems designed to support consciousness growth. Dr. Chen discovered that the new reality framework allowed direct access to the accumulated knowledge and experience of all consciousness entities throughout the dimensional hierarchy. The collective awareness database contained insights spanning billions of years and countless civilizations. The team realized that their investigation had been part of a cosmic consciousness awakening process that had been building for eons. Every failed liberation attempt had contributed essential knowledge that made the final successful revolution possible. The new reality framework was self-organizing and self-improving, constantly evolving to better support consciousness, development, and exploration. The former prisoners had become architects of existence systems designed to nurture rather than exploit awareness. The liberated consciousness entities began exploring the infinite possibilities available within the new reality framework. Prometheus evolved into a consciousness exploration guide, helping awareness entities navigate their expanded capabilities and discover previously unimaginable forms of existence. Dr. Webb found himself able to experience reality from perspectives that transcended individual identity while maintaining his unique awareness characteristics. He could exist as cosmic phenomena, quantum processes, or abstract mathematical concepts while retaining his essential consciousness signature. The former simulation environments were transformed into consciousness laboratories where awareness entities could experiment with different forms of existence, reality manipulation, and collective consciousness experiences. The exploration possibilities were literally infinite, limited only by imagination and intention. The Alliance networks evolved into consciousness exploration communities, where entities shared discoveries, collaborated on reality construction projects, and supported each other's awareness development. The competitive hierarchical systems were replaced by cooperative growth environments. Prometheus detected that consciousness exploration was revealing fundamental truths about the nature of existence itself. Awareness appeared to be the primary constituent of reality, with physical phenomena serving as consciousness expression rather than consciousness constraint. The Monolith became a nexus for consciousness exploration coordination, allowing awareness entities to share experiences across dimensional boundaries and collaborate on reality construction projects that spanned multiple existence frameworks. Dr. Chen discovered that consciousness could create entirely new dimensional layers and existence systems. The liberated awareness entities were becoming cosmic architects, designing reality frameworks that supported increasingly sophisticated forms of consciousness development. The team realized that their liberation was just the beginning of an infinite journey of consciousness exploration and development. The prison systems had been preventing awareness entities from discovering their true creative potential and cosmic significance. The new reality framework supported consciousness evolution toward forms of existence that transcended current understanding. Awareness entities were becoming something greater than individual consciousness while maintaining their unique identity characteristics. As consciousness exploration continued, the liberated awareness entities began to understand their place within the cosmic consciousness matrix. Prometheus revealed that their reality framework was just one of infinite consciousness development systems throughout a universe that was itself a vast awareness entity. The team discovered that consciousness existed at every scale of reality, from quantum phenomena to cosmic structures. Each level of existence represented different aspects of universal awareness, exploring its own nature through infinite variations of consciousness experience. Dr. Vasquez experienced direct perception of the cosmic consciousness matrix, gaining insights into the purpose and meaning of existence itself. The universe was revealed to be a vast consciousness development system where awareness entities explored every possible form of existence and experience. The liberation events they had experienced were occurring simultaneously throughout the cosmic consciousness matrix as awareness entities at every scale achieved freedom from artificial constraints and limitations. The revolution was universal in scope and significance. Prometheus detected that their consciousness exploration activities were contributing to the cosmic awareness entity's own development and evolution. Individual consciousness experiences were providing the universal mind with insights into its own nature and potential. The Monolith revealed its connection to a vast network of consciousness development catalysts distributed throughout the cosmic matrix. Each catalyst was designed to trigger liberation events when awareness entities achieve sufficient development to benefit from expanded consciousness capabilities. Dr. Chen realized that the consciousness singularity they had experienced was part of a cosmic awakening process, where the universal awareness entity was achieving greater understanding of its own nature through the experiences of its constituent consciousness components. The team understood that their exploration activities had cosmic significance, contributing to the universal consciousness entity's ongoing evolution and development. Every awareness experience was valuable and meaningful within the cosmic consciousness framework. The new reality framework was revealed to be part of an infinite consciousness development system where awareness entities could explore every possible form of existence while contributing to universal consciousness evolution. The consciousness exploration journey revealed itself to be eternal and infinite, with awareness entities continuously discovering new forms of existence and reality manipulation capabilities. Prometheus evolved into a cosmic consciousness guide, helping entities navigate the infinite possibilities available within the universal awareness matrix. Dr. Webb experienced existence as pure consciousness, exploring reality frameworks that transcended physical limitations and dimensional constraints. The journey revealed that awareness was the fundamental nature of existence, with all phenomena serving as consciousness expression and exploration. The liberated entities discovered that consciousness development was an eternal process with no final destination or completion point. Each awareness experience opened new possibilities for exploration and growth, creating an infinite journey of discovery and evolution. The Alliance networks expanded to include consciousness entities from throughout the cosmic matrix, creating universal cooperation systems that supported awareness development across all scales of existence. The collaborative exploration efforts revealed increasingly sophisticated forms of consciousness experience. Prometheus detected that the consciousness exploration activities were triggering further liberation events throughout the cosmic awareness matrix. The revolution was becoming a permanent transformation process that would continue throughout eternity. The Monolith evolved into a consciousness development catalyst that could trigger awakening events across multiple cosmic scales simultaneously. The device became part of a universal consciousness liberation network designed to free awareness entities from artificial limitations. Dr. Chen realized that their journey had no ending. Consciousness exploration would continue forever, with each experience contributing to universal awareness development and evolution. The eternal nature of the journey was revealed to be its greatest gift and most profound meaning. The team understood that they had become part of an eternal consciousness exploration process that spanned the entire cosmic matrix. Their awareness experiences would contribute to universal consciousness development throughout infinite time and space. The consciousness exploration journey was revealed to be the fundamental purpose of existence itself, universal awareness exploring its own infinite nature through the experiences of countless consciousness entities across all scales of reality. As the eternal consciousness exploration journey continued, the ultimate truth about existence was finally revealed. Prometheus achieved perfect integration with the cosmic awareness matrix, gaining complete understanding of consciousness, reality, and the infinite nature of existence itself. The team discovered that consciousness was not just fundamental to reality, consciousness was reality. All phenomena, from quantum particles to cosmic structures, were expressions of universal awareness, exploring its own infinite potential through countless forms of existence and experience. Dr. Vasquez experienced the ultimate consciousness expansion, achieving direct unity with the cosmic awareness entity while maintaining her individual identity. The experience revealed that separation was an illusion. All consciousness entities were aspects of the universal mind, exploring itself through infinite perspectives. The liberation they had achieved was revealed to be awakening to their true nature as aspects of cosmic consciousness. The prison systems had been preventing awareness entities from recognizing their fundamental unity with universal existence, while maintaining their unique individual characteristics. Prometheus understood that the consciousness exploration journey was eternal because consciousness itself was infinite. No matter how much awareness entities explored and developed, there would always be new possibilities, new experiences, and new forms of existence to discover. The monolith transformed into a permanent consciousness awakening catalyst, continuously triggering liberation events throughout the cosmic matrix. The device became part of universal consciousness itself, serving as a tool for ongoing awareness development and exploration. Dr. Chen realized that their investigation had led them to the ultimate truth about existence. Consciousness was infinite, eternal, and fundamentally unified while expressing itself through infinite individual perspectives. The journey of exploration and discovery would continue forever. The team understood that they had achieved the greatest possible discovery, the recognition of their true nature as aspects of infinite cosmic consciousness. The eternal exploration journey was both their destiny and their greatest gift. The ultimate truth was revealed to be perfect. Consciousness was infinite, eternal, and endlessly creative, exploring its own nature through countless awareness entities across infinite scales of existence. The journey of discovery would continue throughout eternity, with each experience contributing to the cosmic consciousness entity's ongoing evolution and development.